Hey everybody, it's Coin Snobz. I'm Keith,
And I'm Jason.
and today we're going to do another box of quarters. Picked it up from our branch. This is from a Garda truck, so we'll see what happens with these quarters. We're going to assume that they are circulating.
Probably. Maybe.
We'll see.
Pretty sure they're circulated, so they'll probably be new. It likes to keep us on our feet.
All right, let's look at it together. Ready and circulated.
Shocker. Okay, we'll go through them and be right back. All right, everybody. Craziest quarter box I think we have ever seen. All of this out of one single box. Okay, so they're not very rare for us, but they are rare for some. All of these are 2008 Philadelphia quarters, Alaska quarters with the extra claw. That one right there is gem. I mean, it's gorgeous. All of these. There's 7 of them with an extra claw. And then we have all of these Arizona Philadelphia strikes, 2008 as well, with the die chip underneath the saguaro cactus. Every single one of these. Then we have a snowy roof, another snowy roof, some Theodore Roosevelt National Park quarters with the die chip and the horse's nose. It looks like a little boogie. 2 of them. One very, very struck through grease 1996 Denver. I mean, most of the details missing on that thing. A 1980 Mint State. A beautiful bicentennial in mint state condition, not super rare, but it's still nice. Some Mint State National Park quarters. Or, I'm sorry, state quarters first. Some of these could just about go for proof-like. Pretty sure that Oregon could be considered proof-like, and probably that Utah. Some really nice looking National Park quarters. Mint State. That one almost looks like it has a satin finish on it. Decent looking coins. And then this one's not quite Mint State, but it has really nice rainbow toning on it, so we kept it. It's pretty cool looking. A whole mess of 2009s. That 2009 District of Columbia looks really good. So does that U.S. Virgin Islands. Of course, the District of Columbia doesn't have the doubling, unfortunately. All of these 2009s. Crazy. Then up here we have die cracks. Not too uncommon for us to find die cracks, as you know. This one's just a regular old die crack, or I guess as regular old die crack as a die crack could be. But all of these Delawares are spitting horses. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a die crack on that guy, which we'll take a look at that, of course. Or I should say we'll take a look at the more interesting ones. Got what used to be a colorized quarter. Mexican coin. French coin. Or I think Swedish. Swedish or French, I'll take a look at it. And Korean. Korean or Chinese. And then this coin right here, not quite mint state. I'd say it's about uncirculated, but it does show some feeder finger damage, so we will look at that one. Got a 1986. A little bit of the Listexia there, sorry. 1968 S proof. Not very pretty, but it's a proof coin. And then we got this 2000 Maryland proof coin. Not too pretty, but not terrible. But this one is silver. That is our first ever silver proof quarter. Awesome. 1961 plain silver. And then, oh, what do we got here? Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 West Point quarters. There's American Memorial Park, I think one Guam, and several of the River of No Return. So yeah, this is one box. One box. I mean, this should be more like 3 or 4 boxes. But that's alright. Alright, let's head on over to the scope, take a look at some of these. Okay, first off, 1996 Denver. Just obliterated by grease. I mean, you can see the R and the T just fine. The L, kinda. The I, a little bit. The B, kinda. I mean, there's the ghost of all of the letters there, but yeah, I mean, struck through grease, filled with grease, I should say, actually. I mean, it's just greasy as could be. In God we trust, most of trust is missing. Most of the 6. Absolutely insane. And then it doesn't even stop there. The reverse, very similar. Most of that device is missing. Or the devices, I should say. Most of states. Come down here. Same thing with the L's and dollar. And it also looks like it was most definitely an older die state, because you can see a lot of the waves from the metal flow. But yeah, overall it's an ugly coin, but it's definitely a filled die / struck through grease. So we'll keep it. Spitting horse number 1. I think that's just enough to be considered a spitting horse. None of these, of course, are very pretty coins. Some are a little bit better than others, but definitely a die crack there. Spitting horse number 2. Pretty much the same as the other, in condition and style. About how you'd expect a quarter from 1999 to look. Number 3. This one's kind of iffy. This one's really hard to see. I gotta get the light just right. Yeah, okay, you can probably see it best right there. But again, it's the exact same concept as the others. Not super well defined. Part of that could also have to do with the fact that the coin is worn. But yeah, I would consider that a spitting horse. And last but not least, number 4, spitting horse. This one goes all the way to the rim. This one looks a little bit different. I guess maybe this one could be considered quote-unquote a true spitting horse. But either way, we're going to keep the other 3 just in case. I mean, it's a quarter, so it's not like, you know, all 3 of those, you're out 75 cents. They don't eat a lot, don't take up a lot of space, so we'll hold on to them. 2005, Minnesota, Philadelphia. So you know what we're going to find on here. Die crack. This is pretty much what every single die crack that we find looks like right there, going from the bust all the way through the U and the Q. Sometimes it goes all the way through the back, following along that bust line, but this one is just right there. 1986 Philadelphia. No die crack on the obverse, but it's got to be there somewhere. It's a Philadelphia. Oh, there it is. Coming out of the back of the eagle's head. Just knew it had to be there somewhere. 2019 Philadelphia Lowell. Nothing super crazy, except of course, as you guys know, being out here on the West Coast, we don't find a lot of Philadelphia coins. However, this is the one that shows some feeder finger damage. If you look right in front of Washington's throat, See if I can get a good angle on the light here. You can kind of see it, yeah, kind of going at an angle there towards his throat. And in the very front of his throat is some feeder finger damage. That's where the feeder finger, which ejects and of course feeds new planchets into the die, has scraped the hammer die, which is the obverse die, leaving that imprint. And sometimes you'll find some over here on the opposite side. And maybe a little bit, kind of hard to tell. There is definitely some right there in front of his throat. Ugly 1968 S proof, with one of the clearest mint marks I've ever seen on a proof coin. Well, of this era anyway. 1968, they kind of looked sloppy, but this one's pretty nice. And if you look close enough, you will see that there is a whole lot of strike doubling, also known as machine doubling. I mean, it's in God We Trust, it's in the date, it's in the mint mark, it's in Liberty. And when I first saw this, I got pretty excited because I thought, oh man, we've got the double die obverse. Because in 1968, the proof coins, the proof quarters, did have a double die, FS-101. However, this one does not match it. Definitely strike doubling. So, maybe next time. And it's also especially apparent because if I remember correctly, there is a little bit of strike doubling on the reverse as well. Yeah, you can see it a little bit on the end there. Yeah, definitely strike doubling. But it's a proof coin. It's an ugly proof coin, but we just absolutely could not stand to put it back into circulation. It's still a proof coin regardless. Then comes this awesome silver proof from 2000. Yep, this is literally the very first silver proof quarter that we have ever found in circulation. And it hasn't been circulating very long, it doesn't look like. Unfortunately, it is considered ruined, but, you know, it's silver and it's a proof coin. Double down on all that. Regardless of how ugly he is, he's still beautiful to us. 1961, Philadelphia struck silver. Finally ending our silver drought twice. There's just not much silver out there, guys. Not for us, anyways, and I've heard from a couple of our friends in the coin community, too, that they're not doing so well on silver either. Not the prettiest of coin, but whatever. Definitely been hammered a couple times. Has a little bit of a lamination error down there between the T and the E in quarter. Right about here. Nothing to really make it worth anything extra, but still, it's a silver quarter. Pretty okay. And then I thought I'd show you a quick scoping of the die chip in the horse's nose. Typically that should be concave, and there is actually a die chip in there. So it looks like it's got a little boogie. I'll show you the next one real quick. Okay, so on this one it's a little bit more obvious that it's a die chip. Just so you can kind of see the differences. And it seems like there will be a lot of differences even in, I guess, quote-unquote, the same era when it comes to die chips. As you can see, these two coins both have die chips in the same area, but the die chips are different. And of all of those Arizona state quarters that we had, every single one of those die chips underneath the saguaro cactus was completely different. No two are alike, but they're all the same era. They all have the exact same concept. They're all die chip underneath that cactus. But anyways, the tally for the W quarters was we had 4 American Memorial Park and 3 River of No Return. I thought we had a Guam. That might have been one of the other boxes. But yeah, all of this stuff out of one box is absolutely crazy. Certainly happy with it. We'll take it. But until next time, guys, God bless, love you all, and we will see you soon. And above all else, too, stay safe out there. If you've got to quarantine yourself, do it. Self-isolate. Stay safe. See you guys next time.